Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars in our Shadow of Elysium Redux. So, Ditmar number 1 is almost ready to take off. Actually, it's ready to take off right now. We're going to send that rocket back to Earth, and when it arrives, we are going to load it up with supplies, because we need them. We won't need them too much longer, but our main priority now, above everything else, is to go ahead and start preparing to have colonists in this area as soon as possible, so that we can be extracting metals from this source. And once I've got the colony kind of going, I will definitely start building some other dome types. We're in the process of researching medium domes right now. Matter of fact, let me move a few things around here. Automated storages would be nice. I think... Let's go ahead and research Logi, because being able to procure more fuel more quickly seems like a good idea to me. Yeah, it's the Martian University that ate up all of my electronics, so that's part of our issue right now. Also, the casino complex. Yeah, we queued up some buildings that are really heavy in electronics usage, so we're going to have to make sure we get some electronics to the surface as soon as possible. We also don't have a lot of electronics production happening at the moment, which makes me sad. We do, however, have lots of machine parts production, finally. We have a good amount of research happening. Not any right now in this building because it's nighttime. This new dome, which is Liebig number 1, is housing our seniors. We've gotten that problem taken care of a little bit sooner than we did in the original series. So we have a place for older people to retire to when it is time. And it's just about time for that to start happening, so we're ahead of the curve there. Let me scan this anomaly so I can unlock some new technologies. Also, it seems like we found some new metal, and I need to keep staying on that as much as possible. Hang on. What's going on over here? Got 2 metal there, 22 there. I found some more water in a similar location. That's good news. 22. There we go. Gather that, and come back over here to unload, please. Get to it. Are we running low on polymers too? I mean, we have good polymer production, but I just think we're using up so... We built a lot of new stuff relatively quickly. These apartments require 4 more, and we need 5 more electronics. This rocket's almost back. This rocket is in the process of refueling. The refueling, frankly, is not happening fast enough for my tastes. Where is the fuel? Is it still sitting on the production pad? No. Oh, wait. No. Don't have any fuel there. Got 26 fuel. I'm guessing it's showing the fuel that's already on the rocket as still being in my inventory. But it doesn't normally do that. So I'm not sure where all of my fuel is. New techs are available for research. Wow, lots of new options. Battery optimization, Martian Institute of Science, that's good for research, dust repulsion, smart home, and utility crops. Fantastic. So the Martian Institute of Science probably needs to happen as soon as I can make it happen. I might even move the spacebar over here so the Martian Institute can be in this dome. People can still come to the Space Dome. They just won't live. They can still come to the spacebar. They just won't. Actually, it might be kind of ideal because put the spacebar here. Well, it's the same. It just puts it on the other end. This is one end of a long chain that's kind of crumpled together. So it goes here to here to here to here. But I could have the Martian Institute in this location. Or I could move one of these. I could move the open air gym. Let's do that. Let's build a new open air gym here. This is going to eat up some of my polymers. I don't like, well, I'll leave that track the way it is. We're going to delete that. Now, we don't have it researched yet, of course, but we're going to get ready for it nonetheless. So the drones have picked up those resources already. It's saying we're low on food, but I don't believe it. We have a couple of farms that are highly productive, with plenty of people working them. Now, some of the workplace specializations are quite wrong. One colonist is earthsick. How's that? We do have 3 homeless folks, that's why. So, not everything is quite balanced out yet. What would be the best way to handle this? Let's see. I mean, once the residences are available, everything should be fine. I could build... I could build the tridome out here. What's it called? I think I built one in the unreleased episodes of this, or I might have released them by now when you guys are listening to me say this. But yeah, the microdome. Yeah, the trigon dome is a larger version of that. So I could put it here. And what we could do is have a residence in here, maybe move the spacebar into the trigon dome. That would be a way to allow people just a place to live, but they wouldn't necessarily be comfortable. So let me see if I can wait for some retirees to free up some space, and that might fix the homelessness problem. Because it might not take too long. The retirees are... I mean, it's starting to happen. We're starting to see some gray-haired folks. Still bringing in metal. And plenty of it. We actually don't have a lot. So I need to be careful with the metals production situation in the same way that I needed to be careful before. Alright, let's go ahead and launch a cargo rocket. We have lots of funding, thankfully. Do I need primarily electronics? I think that's probably true. So polymers, machine parts, and electronics. Let's go ahead and launch. That's all of my funding that was available. All of it. Unfortunately. Waiting on 10 more fuel. Still don't know where all my fuel is. No clue. Interesting little lattice here over the oxygen tanks. Low-G engineering is going to be done before too much longer. And we have a few technologies which should get taken care of a little bit faster. Yeah, electronics factory is not producing fast enough. Polymer factory is. There we go. Victor number 1 is ready to go. Get moving. You might be able to bring some colonists back when you return. Although I'm going to need room for them this time. Took a little bit of a risk with the last load of colonists, and I'm still paying for it. because they haven't all found homes yet. We do, however, have lots of food. The game was saying a second ago that I'm low on food. That's a terrible, terrible lie. Wait a minute. No, I'm good on machine parts. The game is acting like I'm low on this resource, but I'm gaining in it, so we're okay. I do have the ability to upgrade my wind turbines with polymers, but yeah, don't have quite enough polymers to justify that yet. We need to get over here. That's the thing. Our next colonists that arrive honestly need to be over here. So maybe the next order of business is to go ahead and get a dome ready out in this direction. It's going to take a lot of metals to make it happen. Let's see. Too far from working drone commander, so we're going to need a new drone hub out here. Thankfully, we have researched those. Now, they do cost electronics to build, so this shipment that's on its way is going to be belabored somewhat by this. I think I want to have you overlapping with the depots over there, just for safety's sake. Yeah, that's good. That drone hub will be able to service plenty. Still have one Earth-sick colonist, unfortunately. But that'll deal with some of the homelessness problem, in a way. It's a cruel way of dealing with it, but it will deal with it. Okay. Hang on, let's take another look. See what other metals might be available to me. Got 12 more down here. Alright, this is going to help us finish up a couple of different buildings. Oh, it's really just the casino complex. Everything else got finished somehow. The Martian University got finished. That's good to see. I can do 2 work shifts here. I would like to do that, so people train up and have better specializations. It's good that we finally have that running. Okay, almost ready to land. I'm going to put the supply shipment down over here, because I need to get those electronics over to this spot. And ideally, like I said, I would like to have my next colonists that arrive in a dome that is designed to work this metal. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and get a food depot. And a metals depot. And we are going to do... Let's just do the 1 concrete depot. I'm fine with that. Alright, drones are about to go crazy. Or maybe not. They're going to start putting stuff on the new depots. That's fine. Alright, so with that stuff being here... Let's see, I need to go ahead and queue up. Well, we need to get the drone hub built. Let's prioritize that just to make sure it gets built, because nothing that I build in the new dome is going to require electronics. So we need to make sure this thing is running. Of course, it doesn't need the power running by it. We have that improvement. Okay. Our other rocket has returned home, I'm happy to say. Alright, low-G engineering has been researched, which means technically the big dome we put out here, or the dome we put out here, could be a big dome. Let's have a look. In-dome buildings require maintenance less often. Yes, please. We probably need to go for utility crops relatively soon. I do want to get transport optimization taken care of. That's a very early game tech that I don't have yet, I'm ashamed to say. Okay, 20 polymers. 20 polymers. A lot of metal and a lot of concrete. And it would require a decent amount of polymers for maintenance. But we could have... The thing about building a medium dome out here is that it's one building that could house a more substantial population that could take care of itself and mine this metal and help establish the part of the colony that works out here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's a little bit overkill. I like the idea of having it nestled back here. Hang on. What's the range? Okay. I like nestling it into this rock. That's cool. Okay. So we're going to put it right there. And it's going to require polymers. That's the thing. And we just got our resource shipment, so the polymers that I have are going to have to be the polymers that I use. I don't know of any polymers that are available to me elsewhere in meteor form. I can go ahead and get the metals extractor built. And we need pipes. Two colonists are Earth-sick, but they're evidently not leaving on the rocket that just landed. And the homelessness problem is not resolving itself. Oh! Oh, that's the worst. That is literally the game giving me the middle finger. Those are my polymers. Like, you're kidding me. I needed those polymers. That just sucked up the polymers that I needed to build this dome. Now I can't do it until we can get a supply shipment back using this rocket. Wow. That is the game literally saying, screw you, Hadrian. A meteor hit buildings that are exclusively polymer maintenance. What a joke. Yeah, I know I'm low on both of those. Believe me, I'm well aware. All right, so we've got the casino running. Let's go ahead and cut off some of these shifts. We have 4 homeless now. I would have thought people would be retiring at a more rapid pace, but they're not. Now, one thing I could do is I could go ahead and have Ditmar number 1 load up on rare metals. We do have plenty of rare metals. So that'll help provide me with some money. I didn't realize we'd been producing that many rare metals. Obviously, I'm so focused on getting to these metals instead. Right, transport optimization. RC transport harvest resources faster and its maximum storage is increased by 15. Good. So with that being done, we're working on utility crops now, which I think is a sensible next step. Let's actually do the Moxie upgrade first. This is another early tech that I just don't have yet. Yeah, this thing will be able... Oh wow, new anomaly found. What did I get? Technology. Let's go unlock it. Now there's no resources in that new sector, which frankly is a bad thing, because I'm starting to run low on metals. I will probably have enough to build the medium dome. We need to get these exports loaded up before this thing takes off. All right, magnetic filtering is being researched. $20 of 30. So we'll make some money that way. Honestly, I hadn't been paying attention to it because my focus has been so much on stabilizing this stuff over here and getting everything set up. I'm not used to having an income too early from rare metals, so that's good. It's very good indeed. Go. Get moving. And as soon as that rocket gets back, we're going to send a crap ton of... Alright, Behavioral shaping and microgravity medicine. So that's 2 new spires that we've just unlocked. Really surprised we haven't had more retirees yet. Should be happening soon, though. I'll tell you who I blame it on. I blame it on those 2 people that left. They would have been a little older by this point, and they would have retired, and I would have less homeless people. Fewer homeless people. It would just be better if those people hadn't been punks. Right, thankfully, it looks like our machine parts production is in solid shape, which is refreshing to see. Our polymers production is also good, but it's not... I mean, one thing we could do is put the polymer factory on high priority. People come in and work these 2 slots. Yeah. At least that way we're producing some polymers. Magnetic filtering has been researched. Utility crops is now being researched. And Martian-born colonists graduate faster in universities and sanatoriums and have higher chance to gain perks from schools. But first, the Martian Institute of Science is entering the queue, period. That has to happen. I've got a dust storm starting soon. I would prefer a dust storm to a cold wave, so you know what? I'll take it. It's not even, it doesn't seem like it's that bad of a dust storm. We will have to close the Stirling generator. Let's go ahead and do that, just for safety's sake. Yeah, this guy's going to bring us lots of money when he arrives. Now, yeah, I don't think there's any metal left anywhere. Oh, there's 2 right there. Might as well grab that. You never know. That could be the difference between life and death. I don't know where it is, though. Oh, there it is. Let's gather there. And unload here. You know the drill. Okay, so we are producing polymers now. And we are still producing a decent amount of rare metals, which means when the rocket gets back, we will have more to load onto the rocket. That's great news. I just need to wait. The good news about what's happening right now in this delay is that we're building up applicants in the colonist pool. And that means that we will have a really good flock of 22 people to come in and work this dome and get it started. You can see our polymer count actually going up. We have the metals we need. There we go. All right, so let's do a cargo rocket. Wow. We need really... Machine parts, we don't need as much. It's electronics that we're suffering on, so... Let's do that. And we can load up some food just to be safe. Let's do that. Never hurts. Stuff the last few spaces in the rocket with some food for people. Just makes you feel good about yourself when you do that. Let's see. Machine parts factory is still solid. Electronics factory, not so much. Old folks home, not a lot of people coming here yet. Hate to say it, but it's true. We are starting to run... We are under 100 metals now, which is making me nervous. I need... Oh, 2 anomalies found. That's a breakthrough. Alright, let's check that one out first. Good that we're finding some new anomalies, at least. That is one area where this playthrough has been merciful with me so far. Shouldn't say anything, though, because... now everything would get worse. Scanning seems to be happening a little bit faster now. We'll eventually scan the area down below, but obviously we don't have access to it yet. But since we have a decent amount of machine parts, once we have good metal, it might actually be easier to make that happen. I'm excited about that. Artificial muscles. Oh, that's for the drones. That allows drones to carry 2 resources at once. Love that. That's a good choice. Good option to have. We won't go for it just yet. 3 colonists are now Earthsick. We're going to lose colonists when this next rocket lands. Unless I landed over here and they can't get away. But that didn't work last time. Oh well. We could put it way over here. It'd be a dick move, but we could put it way over here. I think I'm going to do that. I think because this is where we need the resources anyway. Alright, so the dust storm has kicked in. And it's going for, it looks like, a sol and 5 hours. And actually we can't land while this is going. I just remembered that. That's crappy. We should be okay on our storage. I think we're going to be completely okay. Power-wise, we are more than good. A eulogy for an everyday hero. Thank you, fellow colonists. Reuben Johnson has died. Cause old age. Alright, thank you, fellow colonists. Alright, so maybe that means we'll have less homeless people now. Fewer homeless. I keep saying that. Maybe that will improve things. Utility crops. Done. Farms increase the comfort of all residences in the dome. Probably a good idea, but I want to get these technologies researched first. These are early game techs that I haven't gotten yet. And then the Martian Institute of Science, and then, frankly, artificial muscles. Well, let's do dust repulsion first. Artificial muscles will be coming soon, though. Alright, less than 1 sol left on this dust storm, so sol 44 at this point in the day. Once the sun rises on the next day, things will be good. Try and power through this episode. Power through this dust storm for the remainder of this episode, that is, and then we'll be set. With utility crops done, I can also... Let's go ahead and say cover crops next. I have plenty of food. That way we can really improve soil quality. A lot. Yeah, electronics production is just not happening yet. For whatever dumb reason. Probably a lack of specialists, but we also have some of the other buildings. I mean, we have focuses set up. Oh, machine parts factory requires electronics. That's hilarious. Thankfully we have them. The synergy and just the interplay between all of these different resources in this game, sometimes it just makes me laugh. Okay, now you probably don't have enough energy to scan that anomaly and come back, so let's go ahead and have you come home now. We're going to cut off this metals extractor because it's not needed. Oh, we have had, looks like a dome fracture. It's going to cost 5 polymers to repair. We don't have 5 polymers at the moment, but we will soon. Okay, we have 56 sols remaining. We have 29 technologies researched, so we're making good progress research-wise. As a research colony, I think we're doing okay. All things considered, it's working well. Except for the homelessness problem. Mental breakdown. Colonists just snapped. Peter Dimitrov, as every other colonist, went through psychological conditioning before arriving on Mars to guarantee their most basic ability to cope with the adverse environment. Indeed, the people live in a barren, dead cold world with a toxic, almost non-existent atmosphere, protected only by a fragile-looking dome and relying on machines to keep them alive. The unparalleled everyday stress levels slowly drain the people of their resolve, thus even the slightest shock or frustration can send someone over the edge. On Earth, entertainment and recreation are just for fun, but here they are a tool for basic survival. So... we need... That's interesting. I've got some healthcare buildings set up, but I guess not enough to protect him from that. Good. Extractor amplification is done. That requires polymers, of course. Oh, good. We found new metal. It's been a while. Let's gather that and come back down here. All right, couple of hours remaining in the dust storm and we'll be set. Had a couple of long episodes in a row here, haven't I? I'm just glad it was a dust storm and not a cold snap. I didn't want to deal with a cold snap right now. All right, dust storm is over. Let's go ahead and land the rocket where the Earth-sick colonists can't reach it. I want to see if this works before we end the episode. Yep, it worked. That's hilarious. All right, so all the drones in the area will now come to, well, actually, what's going to happen is the drones here will unload onto this depot, and then drones will be able to bring the resources a little bit more slowly into the rest of the colony. But that's okay. I need the polymers mainly to go to the medium dome, and that thing is going to start going up. Matter of fact, we can let that build before the episode finishes. See, it's so much closer than the two sides of the colonies were in our first go at this, right? I think it's a lot better. All right. Also, this RC Explorer has an anomaly to visit. Go check on that, please. One more polymer needed, and I can see it. I can see it right there. Build the dome. Come on, drones. What do you think? Now, this thing's already loading up on resources, so it's going to bring us lots of money when it gets home. Which is part of the advantage of going for rare metals first before metals. You start making money sooner, but things get a little bit tighter because you need to have a basic functional base underneath you. We saw what happens when you don't do that previously. When you don't have that. You don't have the metal to support a base like that. And we're starting to run low, so we could see it happen again if we're not careful. There's a good number of resources on this rocket, so it's taking a second for the drones to completely unload it. You can see now we have a much better situation in terms of our polymers. Good, we got 2,000 research points from that. Rover Command AI got finished. And maybe even another tech got finished after that. I don't know. Logi hydrosynthesis is almost done. Martian Institute of Science is next. Then I'm going to queue up artificial muscles. And deep scanning will be available. Let's go ahead and queue that up because we'll be able to rescan all of the tiles around us in the episodes to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. I don't know why they're not building this medium dome yet, but we're just going to see it happen at the beginning of the next one. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.